Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to present record center proposal. Firstly, I want to introduce our group member. On my left is
Haqim bin Kamaludin.
On my right,
my name is Syafiq bin Ghazali.
And myself is Hafizi bin BaniYamin.
Okay, for the problem statement, the main reason why the Surya Record Center is created is to overcome the problem of records management around the state. We found that the lack of company that manage this domestic state record. Second reason is we found that agencies around the state of Terengganu are having trouble in managing good records. For example, lack of staff that have skill in managing agencies record. Okay, next for our purpose record center. The goal of record center is to develop policies that clearly identify the sources of content, categories of records, and the appropriate retention periods. Okay, next for our prospect clients. Surya Record Center is a central record of public focusing on agencies around Terengganu. So that is part of our goals to assist each agency around state of Terengganu in managing their agencies record effectively. Okay, this is our logo as you can see at the slide. Surya Record Center. And for our motto is to provide maximum efficiency and use of space as many records can be stored per square foot in record center. Next, our motto is to employ procedure that ensure prompt and efficient handling of records, including fast and easy box. Last but not least is to protect confidential record of authorized access, provide systematic legal disposition of records. And next, for our vision is our primary emphasis is to provide superior customer service in the framework of high flexibility, which means it's to meet the needs of our private and public customer. We are privately held located in Gong Badak, Terengganu, with security facilities. For our missions, first is to sustain a profitable business for long-term benefits for our employees, our customer and our stakeholders. Second is we want more opportunity and personal growth as well as financial rewards. And other mission is to facilitate in business plan and decision making, particularly in the context of changing environments. And last, for missions, we are also going to keep the various record under various law and fulfill the legal requirement needed. And for our objective, in order to improve staff access to information and increase knowledge share, the record center must be able to provide and compliance, ease of access, efficiency and continuity of all records. For our core business, Surya Record Center is to receive record for our client in Terengganu, prepare for an emergency and guards against prying eyes and disgruntled employees, safeguard HR information guards against misuse of sensitive information, and demonstrate a high level of professional care by protecting their vital information. So as you can see, this is our organization structures, and the record manager is Syafiq bin Ghazali, and for the records supervisor is Bani Hafizi bin BaniYamin, and for the administrator coordinator is Luqman Haqim bin Kamaludin.
So next is collecting information about record system. First is record survey. The record survey is a systematic exercise to locate and identify all the record held by a particular business area. The next one is site visit. Surya Record Center makes a visit to Crown Record Management, and Crown Record Management is a role model because Crown is among the largest commercial record center in the world, founded in 1965 and currently in 50 countries. The next one is literature survey. In order to increase knowledge, Surya Record Center conducts survey using a variety of material derive from database such as Amirul Insight to diversify their sources of knowledge and increase the efficiencies of the necessary needs, and also upgrade the system if the objective system is already lagging behind. Next, web browsing. To ensure our improvement, also make a research about other best record center website, because student center hold the principle of learning from the best to be better. So student record center make a research through website, among them is Iron Mountain and National Record Center. Next, outcome policy. Storage and management of record. The record at the Surya will keep according to suitability of the material, according to temperature, to maintain it for a longer time. Next, reference and access for record. Staff at the Surya Record Center will provide reference for authorized person to be permitted to access this record at the center of the record. But the record is only allowed to be used in the record center only if the agency personnel bring out their document. They must follow the agreed procedure between the creation agency and the serial records. Next, appraisal for records with enduring of permanent value. Appraisal is the process of determining the record value for the further use for any purpose and the period of time for which the value will continue, also known as assessment, review or selection. After a period of time, records at the student center will be assessed whether they still need to be maintained or otherwise. Next is disposition action. The record disposal is the last step if the record are completely duplicated and have no value, but the record still usable and the value will be sent to the record center in advance, and after a period of time the valuable record will sent to archive to be stored and referenced in the future. The next one is step to follow to restart the record. First, review the location, register and identify its location. Remove the boxes and start them in the loading bay area. Carry out the instruction by referring to the procedures to preserve confidentially. Number 4, the instruction should be carried out in a controlled manner. Restore the whole boxes, not individual file. As long as box still contain record, they should be retained but be kept the whole box. It is uneconomical to move the record that remain in half-empty box to the last one to another box, because this will involve editing all the interview record as well. Next, deciding on a physical for the record center. First, because there are many advantages of centralized record center. For our building selection, we choosing some of the first factor that location is whether to access it easily or not, because it will have a harsh impact, especially on the client, because if our location is a remote place, it will make customer think many times to work with us. And next, the price factor is very important for us to adjust the budget we have set for the selection of land. So we have chosen Gobadak Terengganu, where we are to hold our record center. Is influenced by some factors such as Gobadak is a developing city and not too crowded, so it's easy to access to it. So Gobadak, where we are to build our record center, is influenced factors such as Gobadak is have a many organizational, example University Malaysia of Terengganu, University of Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin and others. Next is transportation. In order to be a good record center, we try our best to complete our equipment, including our transportation equipment. So we decide to buy two type of vehicle, that lorry and van. Next, communication system. Communication is essential for decision making and planning. So we need to full the equipment and we decide to buy fax machine, computer and photocopy scanner and printer machine to improve our communication system. Last but not least is renovating building. The expected construction period is 2 years and will cost RM 1 million ringgit. The material should use quality measures to ensure safety of the staff as well as the record. In addition, the building is also easy to find as it's located just off the main road. Next, manage the record of selected agency. Agency involved is Astro. Astro is so the Surah Record Center set up the date to do this pilot project with the Astro company is on 4 February 2019. So the Surah Record Center strength by Astro is the Surah Record Center is strategic because of the distance between the studio and the office is nearby by the record, so the record delivery can be done rapidly. The traffic system on the way to the Surah Record Center is not too busy, which make it more efficient. The staff are committed and cooperative toward their task. They communicate with customer and various understandable way and giving customer care services adequately. And last, every record management process is done precisely, such as considering the environmental factor. For the witnesses, Surah Record Center have a limited workspace, so it limit the work that can be done at a time. Second, we a lack of experiences and training. The last one is insufficient staff have become of one of the problem, as the personal enrollment have to parallel with the salary budget provided. The process will not going to complete in time because of this particular issue. The last one is positive and negative client feedback. For the positive feedback, Surah Record Center offer cheap and efficient record management package compared to other record center. So it's an also option to manage the record as it saves their operating costs. And the last one is negative feedback. According to our client Astro, we are lack of experiences and practice, which make use unable to process the document set in short amount of time. The issue lead to other document processing procrastinated.
Next, the recommended solution for the weakness firstly is limited space. We will give our effort to make sure the space will be bigger and more comfortable for the staff and the client. Next, the experience practice of staff. We will send and ask the staff to go course that provide training for handling management for the record center. And lastly is for the budgeting to hire more staff. We will try to find sponsorship and fund from the non-government organization NGO to top up and increase the staff of Surya Record Center. For the launching program, the launching program of Surya Record Center will be held on 19 June 2009, which is on Thursday. They will be attended by VIP, that is Minister of State Terengganu, Dr. Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar, and the other invited VIP. And this is the tentative of the Surya Record Center's launching program. And next for the carrying of record in digital format. Firstly is security. We will make sure there is a CCTV to prevent the thief from enter the Surya Record Center. And next is lighting. Lighting is important because the lighting should be considered in the record center. The brightness of lighting must be bright and clear, especially in dark area room. Next is the temperature and humidity. Control of temperature and relative humidity critical representative of library and archival collection, because an unstable level of this contributes significantly to breakdown of material. The temperature is important to ensure there is no mark that is located at the record. And for next is a fire control. Fire control is to ensure there is no harmful record center that can be happen. So we prepare smoke detector, fire alarm and fire extinguisher as a security equipment for the fire control. Okay, for the next is pest control. Pest control is must be maintained to ensure no insects can land in the building. It is not if insect can make land in the building, the record can be broken by letting the insect in and tear the broken record. So we have provided insecticide to ensure no insect and prevent the insect to live in the building. Next is disaster control. The Suria Record Center will prepare from any danger that might threaten the safety record. They include the fire, flood and the other natural disaster. The Suria Record will provide water detection on the floor and under the ground to detect the danger level of water like a flood. Next is the facility of the equipment that we are budgeting in for the Suria Record Center. We show to you the unit that is multiple by the per unit and the sum of the budgeting of the cost of the equipment. For the conclusion, first conclusion is promotional activities. We will establish the Suria Record Center and to make the people know, especially in Malaysia. The presence and the existence of the Suria Record Center will be realized by the people, especially Terengganu people. And for the future enhancement, we will make sure to improving and marketing the promotion to increase the target audience. Other than that, we will ensure staff have a good skill in handling management of the record center. And last but not least, we will upgrade the software and hardware to ensure our priorities in management of database, data input and retrieval information will be more faster and excellent. That's all for us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.